We have some fixed costs because it costs something to run this data. To run this operation, you need to have a number of subscriptions. There are actually 8 subscriptions. There are, for instance, 1 subscription for languages. So when you are speaking to this IA agent Nina, who is interviewing the clients and the victim, she talks and she speaks and interviews in different languages. So we need a subscription for different languages. That's one of the subscriptions. We need to have subscriptions for security, for cyber security, and different kind of things. So these subscriptions, and they cost the same no matter how many clients we have. So that's a fixed cost. And this fixed cost is $12,000 per year. So we have a fixed cost of $12,000 for different kind of subscriptions, and we have a cost for each and every client of $0.2, 20 cents. That's the cost, nothing more. So the rest we are using money for is for recruiting, for marketing, sales and marketing, to recruit new clients. That makes the profit margin very, very big. That's why I'm saying this is a great investment opportunity. And I could tell you that investment company, venture capital company, they are looking for just this kind of businesses where there are more or less no cost and a very, very high profit margin and a very big market. And a market where there are almost no competitors. That's the wet dream for every professional investor. Every venture capital company is looking for these kind of enterprises. If you put in these numbers, 500,000 clients who are paying annually $150, that is equal to $75 million. And you have a operational cost of 20 cents for each and every client. And you have fixed cost of $12,000. If you put that into the formula that is used for evaluation of companies, it's called the discount cash flow methods. There are a number of these kind of valuation methods, but this DCF, the discount cash flow method, is used in more than 80% of all cases when venture capital companies and banks and whatever there are is doing an evaluation of a company. If you put these numbers in, out come $391 million. So that's where this valuation come from, $391 million. That is what comes out if we have 500,000 clients and we have these kind of costs. And I could tell you this is a conservative valuation. I would love to at least double or triple this valuation, but I want to be realistic. And that's why we have set this valuation. $391 million is a lot of money, a huge lot of money. But this is what the company is worth today with this estimate. The interesting thing is that the new IA technology, you could modify the IA technology. So the technology we have developed and spent 1.5 million to develop and is ready and up and running. This technology could be modified for different kind of application. It's not just to onboard clients and do a criminal investigation. This technology could be modified to use, for instance, in insurance company, when you are doing an insurance claim, for instance. Exactly the same process. And the modification is not more than 10-15%. So 85-90% of the technology is ready and done. And then you just do a small modification, and then it could be applied for different kind of application, for different kind of businesses, not just for legal services, but for other businesses. We are just now in talks with insurance companies, but there are a number of other companies as well. And this is why it's so interesting that we have different kind of revenues as well. It's not just by RepScan. We could sell this technology to others as well. In RepScan, we also have a very large database. That's where we collect all the evidence and the information from our clients. And we have a cooperation with a supplier called Amazon Web Service, AWS, and AWS, Amazon Web Service, is one of the biggest one that has data centers, large data centers all over the world. And I'm sure you have heard about these data centers. They are huge data centers. And these huge data centers are now processing data and storage data all over the world. And we have a cooperation with AWS, who is the biggest one with data centers. And when we started cooperating with AWS, we found out that there is a huge interest from everybody who is doing investigations, but also from law enforcement agencies, private investigating companies, banks, insurance companies, and whatever it is, to share data between them. Because each and every one, the problem is that data is spread all over the place. We have our data, somebody else has their database, but if we could share this data between us, then we could do an even better investigation. And I have attended a number of conferences. I attended a conference a couple of months ago in London, and there were more than 300,000 people visiting this, and there were about 1,500 companies who was exhibiting on this huge conference. And everyone was talking about data sharing. Data sharing is the new red hot subject for everybody. And what we did was to start a project a couple of months ago, and it's now finished, where we, together with our IT company and AWS, have now built a platform for data sharing. And the interesting thing is that both two very large IT companies, Microsoft and another very large IT company called Accenture, both Microsoft and Accenture has been working on to develop a platform for data sharing. And they have been working on this for 5 years now, and both of them has failed. The reason why they have failed is not the technical challenge. It's not the technical problem. It's a legal problem. Because you need to comply with, for instance, the European legislation. It's called GDPR. If you are collecting sensitive information about people, and you are a citizen within a EU country, then you have to comply with GDPR. And we have found a solution for complying with GDPR. So where Microsoft and Accenture have failed, we have success. And this sharing data platform, data sharing, you could go into our website. It's called InfSend. I'm going to send you the link to our website, and you could read about this. We are going to start marketing this service, this data sharing service. And we are going to start doing sales and marketing in the first quarter of the next year, in 2027. And both this multi-application, where you could use RepScam technology for other kind of purposes, and this data sharing that Global Information Center is called, both of them have equally as big financial and economic possibility as RepScam. But in the valuation, the 391 million valuation is just RepScam. Both the multi-application and the Global Information Center, the data sharing, is within ELF LLC. And I'm sure as soon as we start doing sales and marketing for these two other concepts, the value will jump immediately.